Harley riders, specifically my RG3 Harley riders. You ever look at the trikes and think, how did they get those two lights down there? They actually make the two brake light LED lights for them, but they don't make one for the RG3s. I had a buddy of mine that lives up the road here. He wants to get some lights similar to those to chase the pattern on the back trunk of the RG3. So what I did is I went ahead and ordered up some True Flex, and you don't need a long bar or anything. Flexes and contorts, and he also wants to get the Pro Beam turn signals put in, so I'm gonna go ahead and hook him up real quick. I'll bring y'all along for the ride because technically this would be my third project in here, but the first one that I'm actually recording. Let's get it done. All right, unlike the Harley trike, the RG3's fender is set up a little different. It's set up a lot different. So you get more similarities in the freewheeler and the RG3 than you do with a trike. So the trike comes out straight or semi-straight, comes down at a high-pitched angle. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not made up for the hot rod look like the RG3 and the freewheeler is. So you don't have anywhere to put like a plasma rod here. Plasma rods don't conform, they don't bend or anything. They just straight, and that will look real kind of stupid. You know what I mean? So this little area right, well, not up here. Right here at the fender, where this fender here meets the trunk body on down, there's a little, I hope you can see this, but it's a little fender type-ish bend or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Look it up in the dictionary, Google it, whatever you want to call it. But this area right here is just enough to put one of those True Flex LED lights to add to that brake light effect. He already has the magic strobes on here, so that's going to give him a little more visibility, especially at night. When people like to run up on you, you know what I mean, or they act like they don't see you. So the worst scenario is they catch an epileptic attack or something like that. But that's on them, not you. Your safety is what's important. So anyway, measuring that, I got about 9 inches. I got about 9 inches of area that I can use, which is perfect on here because the True Flex comes in different lengths. So, boom, we got about 9.5 with this right here. So it'll even out where I can play. Plus, you don't want to try and pull this seam loose from the actual trunk. Sorry if I'm spitting, I was eating some pistachios earlier. But you don't want to try and pull this fender piece right here away from the trunk. So you don't want to pinch any kind of lines or anything up in here, but you have enough area back up in here. All right, and always take heed to look for access points. Don't just put some painter's tape on somebody's fender and drill a hole through it when you could have avoided any kind of unnecessary blemishes or marks. Make sure you got access points. Just get down on your back and check. Don't mess nobody's stuff up, man. Or woman. How come nothing could just be easy? He called me and said, hey, I want to get a cybercharger. So we got the Ciro cybercharger here. a Gen 2, by the way. Whatever Gen 1, I mean, the Gen 1 was fine. And he also said, well, since we're here, let's get a big ass cup. So I got that on there too. The lights on the back. Custom Dynamics. I could have sworn I ordered 2 of these. You sent me 1. Y'all got to do a little better now. Come on, you're starting to take advantage of your patrons now. Come on. Put those in there as well. So he does have the probing ring turn signals. I can't remember exactly what they call them. Custom Dynamics is so extra. But anyway, they make good products. They stand by their products. That's the only reason I keep using them. You wouldn't believe what time it is. You wouldn't believe what time it is. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm still up because I'm gonna get this gentleman's stuff done. I put the ECM on this pad right here because I had to move the actual case that it sits on, because I didn't want the battery terminals to accidentally hit this thing. This is the brain of the bike. This thing goes bad. This little guy right here. So this can be hid right inside the tail light. You can hide it right behind the motherboard, but you just gotta splice into the actual power and the daytime running light, which I believe is red and is orange. Because without it, all you're gonna do is end up having turn signal functions, brake functions, but the daytime running light is not gonna work. Or the other way around, if you try and finagle it, you're gonna get the daytime running light, but you're not gonna get any brakes or turn signals. So you need that converter. So I'll give you the part number to that. So if you're doing an RG3 and you add T-Flex LED lights to it, that part number is 2050-0100. It's a T-Flex converter. Also, when I got back, he was here. He wanted to go ahead and put these on here as well. These are the fork turn signal lights. He liked them on my Road Glide, and I explained the form, function, and the benefit to him, and he went ahead and got that. So he brought it over. I'm gonna go ahead and throw those on there too, and let's see if we can go from there. Oh, part number for those fork lights, 2040-2649. Because his RG3 is 25, still has the previous shark nose build. So everything in there is just like my Road Glide, which is a 21 Road Glide. So these will work with that setup. So if you're ever doing a setup on there, you want to put the fork lights on there. I believe I also have a video. If I remember, I'll try and put it down in the description to where I put these on my bike. So let's go ahead and get that done because he wants his bike back, and being up to like 3 in the morning working on it, I'm gonna get this thing done for him. So might have it a little longer because I gotta put these on, but let's go. All right, FYI, if you're ever gonna be taking any little tidbits and little knickknacks or whatever, you're gonna be placing them on someone's bike, just take some painter's tape. Ooh yeah. Also, with the tail lights here to go on the RG3, if you look up, if you be safe and do like 2020 to 2023 Road Glide Limited, the tail light that's on the back of their fender is this guy right here that they use on the RG3. So, well, it's this guy here from Custom Dynamics that uses this for the RG3. You simply, it's on there like this, on the Road Glide Limited, on the RG3, it's on there like this. Same design. Also, the license plate on the RG3 is on the left side. So if you're going to putting them back, make sure you don't put them back wrong, because one of them will have a window in it. So when you're ordering it, and when you look up Custom Dynamics or whatever, or maybe Drag Specialties, they carry it. Make sure when you look at the tail light on there, if it has a window up top. All right, because you're gonna reverse that, basically turn it upside down, and it's gonna face down towards the license plate, which is where the light is gonna illuminate. All right, so always remember that. So I'm on this side, on the right side. There's no window on here, so I know I got the right tail light. All right, FYI, because these wires, the gauge on this wire is so small, you have to be very careful when you're splicing everything together. And using heat shrink is always a good thing to have, but because they are so small, like I said, the gauge on here is probably 22, maybe 24. I don't even know if they make a 24, but you want to be real careful with the heat that you put on here. So you don't want to just put a heat gun up there or a lighter or anything and just leave it on there, because what you'll do is you'll end up making a wire underneath that the little plastic jacket. You'll end up frying that wire and it'll be brittle. This is gonna have to be cut. There, you happy? It's been cut. Anyway, leave yourself enough room so you can put it back when you splice it. Don't cut it like way like here or something. You know what I mean? And you try and get those little pieces that fit. Nah, don't do that. Now, if you had a depinning tool, you could also stick it down in there and remove the wire, actually. Get the other wire, put it in there in the new terminal, stick it back in there. But I don't have a depinning tool. I used to, I lost it. I don't know, between the move from here to Savannah somewhere, I don't know. But I haven't given him dinner yet, so he's kindly reminding me. I tell you what, I'll show you once I get back from him. Well, let's see if the strip lights make the RG3 look any better. I'm sure it will. Technically, I think he would be the first one in Cincinnati to have the actual strip lights along where brake lights would be like on a trike. So this might be a first for him. Me too. Let's see. I think he'll be happy. All right, now it's time to put these LED fork lights in. All right, as you can see, it's quite involved getting these fork lights to just simply be on the bottom of the fork, you know what I mean, and replace the reflector. You gotta go through a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not a whole lot, you ain't doing engine work, but you gotta take that, you gotta take the shark nose off, you gotta do a whole lot of stuff, you know what I mean? At least you don't have to remove the entire front end. Since this RG3 is blacked out, you got the gloss black smoke. He wants to match the smoke turn signals up front, so it'll all come together and look great. All right, this plug right here, these plugs are what I had to take loose in order to get the shark nose cover off. All right, so these right here plug into that fairing over there. They already had the plugs ran down to the turn signals. You plug this guy here into that outlet. All right, now this will plug into the one that's already on the fairing down to the turn signal. This one will lead down to the fork. That way your power supply goes right on down and it's no splicing at all. To tell the truth, with this 25 RG3, they did a lot more wire management than mine was. When I took my fairing off, it was like wires everywhere, and that was a brand new bike, so kudos to them for doing that. And evidently, since it's an RG3 also, you got the wireless antenna in here. All right, what I want to do first, and this might be surprising to a few people, is that you want to take your alcohol, you just want to clean up any debris around your reflector. Next thing you want to do, take your tape, and you want to tape where your reflector is. Sorry if my dumb, stupid arm is in the way. Hey, Dirty, why are you taping around the reflector? Ain't you gonna take it off? Yes, but you know what? I gotta know where to put the replacement. And if I don't know where to put the replacement, I'd just be guessing, wondering where it goes. Now, this is on here with its own adhesive, so you can't just pry this off, you know what I mean? If you could pry it off, then, I mean, what would be the point of having it there? It would just fall off anyway. So, I'll show you the next move. All right, that's your heat gun, all right? That's your typical heat gun. This is one, it's a little cheapy one. I got it like Harbor Freight, it's Little Warrior or something like that. You don't have to go out and buy the most expensive heat gun unless you just want to, because you don't use these things that much, you know what I mean? It has two settings, of course, high, low, you know what I mean? So, and off. Now, I always usually use this on low 95% of the time. So if I ever use it on high, it's because I need to do something like shrink wrap real quick without holding the heat on it too long, like you saw earlier. So with this one, I'll just use low setting. And while you have this thing going, you want to keep it moving. You don't want to just hold it here, you know what I mean? Because you do have like a brake line here, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to melt into that jacket or anything, you know what I mean? So you want to keep the heat moving, and it'll eventually start to loosen up. Also, with this boho plastic tool here, you don't want to hold it in the middle of the heat, because you'll start melting this too. Ask me how I know. Look at that. And normally I'd say wear gloves, because when you go to grab this piece of plastic, it'll be hot. If I knew how to go right into time lapse, I'd speed this up for you, but I still haven't figured out that secret on my editing software. A small little twist. Push down and just twist like you're turning a key. You start getting resistance, add more heat. Excuse me. That reflector is gonna turn into a banana peel on you. Good thing is they're only about $7 if you wanted to ever replace it. So surprisingly, it's not a high-end item at Harley. Now, as you can see, you still got all of this there little stuff here. So Go ahead and take that on off. Good thing about this tool is that it won't scratch your gloss. Just be patient, you know what I'm saying? Trust the process. All right. Now what I'm seeing is some residue on here. I'm gonna show you a quick trick that I use to get that off, because I don't like using Goo Gone or any kind of other grease remover or sticker remover or anything when it comes to being around my brakes or around my tires. Because you do not want anything slick on these things when you're trying to navigate the streets here. I use this when I'm like debadging cars, trucks, or whatever. After you take the badges off, you still have this residue. It's just like a big pencil eraser. All right, now remember with this, you don't want to put it on like so, because you got the wire right here. You don't want the wire going across or trying to route it under or something like that. You want to go back on the same way the old reflector came off. With this here, don't just peel this off. Use a tool or a thumb or your thumbnail or something like that, and always kind of just go over. What that does is it activates whatever adhesive is under there. It might be an old wives' tale, but it seems to work, so I always do it. Now you want to go right back where you took the old one off. And now you can, because you got a mark on there from the tape, so you know exactly where to put it. Now also, you don't want to go pressing this too hard. Remember, this is a L.e.d motherboard behind here, so you don't want to crunch it in. You know what I mean? Just give it some oomph. Trust me, that 3M that Custom Dynamics puts on here, I don't know what deal they got with 3M, but man, stuff is almost like rubber, cement, or concrete or something. I don't know, but it stays on there. Right? That. Now, this thing is plenty long enough to get all the way up. And remember, see, that plug goes into that other jack. All right, I had to go get the zippy doos that came with the package, so we'll place them down here on the floor real quick. I mean, it's a zip tie. I shouldn't have to explain how to use the zip tie, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna pull it all the way tight yet. At first one, you do want it to be a little snug, because it has to go around your ABS sensor wire and the brake line wires, or brake line cable. Right here, I'll move it. There you go. You want to chase that all the way up. And since I'll have a few zip lines or zip ties, zippy doos in my mouth, it's gonna make it hard for me to talk a little for you to understand me. But I'm doing my best here, doing my best. And also, I will be doing an official name change of the channel here soon. And for some of you, if you already know what it is, put down in the comments what you might think the name of it is. Again, I do appreciate y'all coming and watching. Remember to hit that like, the share button, or whatever it is, and comment on there. Because I am trying to get to, like I said, at least 500 subscribers by the end of this year. All right, after fishing this line up, and that is another ordeal, I actually use a electrician's line fisher, I guess that's what you call it, line puller, I don't know. On my bike, I use the coat hanger, so don't be afraid to improvise, adapt, and overcome. All right, so, like I said, the wire connector connects into the original. You're in for the fork. Sorry, I had these in my mouth. For the fork light. And to the other end. I like to do wire management while I'm doing the work, so I don't have to come back and do it. So everything's here is neat. I'm gonna keep it that way. Any of you road glide operators out there know anything about Dakota Digital? I was thinking about changing my gauges out, but I'm not sure. Do I have to do a flash on my ECM to do that? Let me know down in the comments, because I don't want to spend that money and then be sitting up here lost as hell when it's time to do it. All right, now it's just about putting everything back together now. Everything is wired up except for the two turn signals that are attached to the fairing. So when those plugs get in there, I'll go ahead and do a quick test fit on the fairing just to hold it in there. I'll put a couple screws in there and then I'll turn it on. I'll make sure everything works. You know, I don't want to put everything back and then realize when you turn it on, you're like, uh-oh, what happened? You know what I mean? So yeah, so you're gonna have to put the fairing back on there because the two plugs are on that fairing. So unless you got somebody to hold the fairing and you plug it up, but that's just stupid when you just put it up there and hold it in place real quick and see if everything works. I'm not gonna show you that part because I'm way big on doing like reveals of it, you know what I mean? So why would I show you that it worked before it worked? Whew, that was pretty long. Well, I got everything done on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and ride it in to work since I work at a Harley dealership. He's gonna pick it up there, then I'll have my wife come pick me up midday for lunch or something like that. She'll bring me back here, I'll get my bike, and then I'll ride back to work where everybody end up getting cut and everybody going to the hospital and then the house be blowing up. Nah, but anyway, remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment down here in this section down here, because, you know, lately ain't nobody been saying nothing. You've been watching, but you ain't saying nothing. Nah, but still, for real. I'm a little delirious right now because it's like close to 4 in the morning, and I got to go in here and take a shower, get about 3.5 hours of sleep, and then I got to get up and start the day all over again. So, like I said, remember to like, share, subscribe, Comment down below. Let me know what you think of the videos. Is there anything else that you would like to see dealing with either motorcycles, cars, trucks, something like that? Like I said, later on, maybe a few more videos. I'm gonna be announcing the new title to the channel. So, you know, it's not gonna be 30/30 road glide no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing a little bit more than just with the glide over there. You know what I mean? So right now I'm rambling. Like I said, I'm delirious. Good night, y'all, or good morning, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.